Welcome to It's Not Your Parents' Basement, Denver metro area's only first-time homebuyer show. I'm Christian Durland.
My name's Olivia Konovicius.
And today we're going to be talking about the Colorado real estate contract. And a real estate contract is what brings a buyer of a home and a seller of a home together.
Yep.
What binds the transaction together. Olivia here, our realtor extraordinaire, is going to break all the details down for us and let us know how it works and some of the other things that you as a first-time home buyer would need to be concerned about. So, Olivia?
Well, exactly. I want to take the time to explain this to you because we here in Colorado have a pretty lengthy real estate contract. It's 15 plus pages. It can be really intimidating if you are just trying to thumb through this and figure out what you need to actually pay attention to. So I'm going to whittle it down for you. So first and foremost, you've got your contract sales price. Let's say you looked at a house, it was listed at $200,000, you offer $200,000. You've signed that contract and now the seller has accepted your contract by signing it. Once it's signed by both parties, now we refer to it as executed. So the first item that you're going to actually have to complete is submitting your earnest money. And most people don't really know what earnest money is. For ease today, let's just call it your skin in the game. It's essentially a deposit to let the seller know that you're serious about the transaction. Now, my job as your real estate agent is to make sure your earnest money is protected so that you actually never lose this money. Just because you go under contract does not mean that you're never going to see this earnest money again. So essentially, we've got dates and deadlines to abide by that are going to be written on your contract so you can follow along. The first date and deadline, also referred to, us real estate people like to call them contingencies, right? The first one is inspection. So you've typically got about 7 days to do your home inspection. Moving forward, through home inspection, let's say you like the property, there's nothing wrong, you want to move forward, you move on to appraisal. If something does come up that kind of freaks you out, you've got a furnace that's not firing properly, you've got a roof that's extremely old, and you actually want to cancel on inspection, you're able to do that and get your earnest money back. You just need to cancel by your inspection deadline. So as I mentioned, let's say you're moving forward, now you're on to appraisal. So what does that entail?
Well, after the inspection, you usually give me a call and say, you know what, we've gotten through the inspection process, okie dokie, and it's time to proceed forward. And so I say okay, and that's when, from the mortgage side of things, we push the gas.
Right.
And the very first thing we do is order the appraisal. And the appraisal is, it's important to you as the buyer, it's also important to us as the lender. We want to make sure that the home is worth what you're under contract for, what you've agreed to purchase it for. It's very important to note that we as the mortgage lender are only going to lend you money or provide your mortgage loan based on the purchase price or contract price, the agreed upon price between buyer and seller, or the appraised value, whichever is lower. So that's why it's an important step. Now I'll let you get into it. We could have a situation if the appraisal comes in lower than the agreed upon purchase price, then we have a situation. But again, as the lender, we must have the appraisal ordered, completed, underwritten, and approved by the underwriter by the appraisal deadline in the contract.
Yes. So for example, you're under contract at 200, the appraisal comes in at 190. What are your options? First off, as the buyer, you can cancel, get your earnest money back. You can also go into negotiation with the seller. Let's say the seller actually has the opportunity to cancel also if they do not want to negotiate. The seller can choose to come down to 190, or if the seller digs their heels in and says, nope, we're going to stick at 200, that means you have to bring $10,000 out of pocket in order to satisfy this contract. So you just need to know that there's an opportunity to cancel, get your earnest money back, or move forward. There's a couple, I should say, other contingencies that are going along here simultaneously. Title. You've got the HOA contingency. That means if you're buying a condo or townhome inside of an HOA, you have the opportunity to review their rules, their regulations, their bylaws. If you see something that you don't like in those documents, you can also cancel, get your earnest money back. Moving along, the final contingency, kind of the big last one that you're looking at, is called loan conditions. And so what is that?
Well, loan conditions is, by this time as your mortgage lender, we have put your loan file into underwriting. The appraisal's been approved, hopefully, all that kind of thing. And any outstanding conditions, updated financial documents, the appraiser needs to make a correction to the appraisal or add some information, or we need something from you guys. These are loan conditions, and those loan conditions must be satisfied so that we can issue what we call the final approval for your mortgage loan And the greatest 3 words in our business, right, for everybody, a clear to close. And that's basically loading up your credit card so you can use the mortgage loan to make the purchase at closing. So
exactly.
We have to have everything done by that deadline, so that and hopefully a few days before closing, so we have time to review the documents with you, so that you go into signing, not stressed out and aware of everything.
And so let's say something does happen that's unforeseen at this point. I've had this happen, unfortunately. I know you have, in this crazy economy we've had in the last 5 years. Let's say you lost your job right before closing. Now you're unable to qualify for your mortgage. You can actually cancel on loan conditions and you can get your earnest money back. So throughout the entire contract, you're protected, and that's actually one of my most important jobs, is to make sure that we're following your dates and deadlines. And I should also say that we can actually change these deadlines. If we need 2 more days on loan conditions or inspection or appraisal, we can go ahead and negotiate that with the seller. We just have to have them documented on what's called an amend extend. We just can never let any deadline blow past without renegotiating. That's my job, right? So that's what I need to do for you. So that's it. That's about it. That's the real estate contract in a nutshell. So I hope that helps.
We do. And in the meantime, until our next video, remember to download our ebook, The Yellow Brick Road to Home Ownership. Leave a comment below, a question below, share the knowledge. And until the next time,
always remember,
you'll never forget your first time.
Thanks.
Bye.